Well, hello guys. Good evening. Bullhorn Betty. It's nice to see you this Saturday evening. And we have gone through a lot of stuff today. We even discussed some Gilgo 4 information. There was a little bit of speculation. So this is Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 26, 2024. He's been missing for 2 months now. Nobody knows where he is. The last place he was with his mom at the house. Many of us believe that it wasn't just with mom, it was mom and stepdad that was last seen with him. But according to all the reports that we know and have, it was just Katie and Katie and Sebastian. We are learning a little bit about the timeline, but it's not really helping us too much, and it's causing more questions than answers. Early on, we found out that, thank you guys. Early on, we found out that Chris Proudfoot was seen, or at least from a coworker told us that he was on a tower crane around 7 a.m. We learned from a private investigator that it was confirmed that Chris Proudfoot was on the job at 5:15. So many people are questioning, why is he on the job at 5:15 if he's not getting on the crane until 7 a.m. in the morning? And, what was he doing there that entire time before the call came in from his wife at 6 o'clock in the morning? And why, if he was not yet on the crane when the call came in, why did he continue to go about his day instead of telling his boss that he couldn't make it and heading home? We won't know those answers. What we also learned from his coworker is that he was kicked off the job that morning for having a bad attitude. And I think the coworker said between 10 and 11 a.m. they kicked him off the job. He did not request to leave. He did not, according to this one source, he did not request to leave. He got kicked off the job for having a bad attitude. And so it just makes everybody want to know what is going on here. And we also learned some other stuff. We heard and learned, because one of the timeline items was when did they leave the steakhouse and when did they arrive home. I'm learning they left the steakhouse around 6:30 and arrived home that evening around 6:39. Because it's about 9 minutes away from their home. So that answers a few questions. It does sound like they went straight home after the steakhouse. So what happened from 6:39 to 9 p.m. when he went to sleep? And also, we cannot forget that Katie Proudfoot also included a new thud into the mix. So a thud happened at 10 p.m. While I do not believe a thud exists or a thump exists, she still introduced it into the story. So how this works right now is we still don't know what time they went to BJ's, what time they came home from BJ's to put the snacks away, how long they were at home before they left to go bowling, how long they were at bowling and what they did at the bowling alley, and what time they actually arrived at the steakhouse. We do have the information that they left the steakhouse around 6:30 in the evening. They're arriving at home between 6:39 and 6:40 in the evening, and we don't know what happened from around 6:40, 6:45 to 9 p.m. According to Katie Proudfoot, the mom, Sebastian went to bed around 9 p.m. and she ended up getting on a call with her husband, Chris Proudfoot, that lasted about 3 hours while she was studying for college. So she was apparently reading books while she was having this 3-hour conversation with her husband, and she was studying and talking to him up until she could not keep her eyes open anymore, and her husband told her to go to bed. She went to bed around midnight, and like I said, at 10 p.m. they heard a thud. Somewhere in there she heard a thud. I didn't hear if Chris said anything about her hearing a thud or her saying she heard a thud on the phone, only that there was a thud around 10 p.m. She went to bed about midnight, and we're hearing Chris Proudfoot showed up at work at 5:15. Katie awoke at 6 a.m. By 6:03, she's calling Chris. According to Chris's coworker, he wasn't on the tower crane until 7 a.m. However, from 6 a.m. to 6:33, they were talking, and then law enforcement was called at 6:33. By the time the report was done, it appears that Chris got on his tower crane and had a bad attitude and was finally kicked off the job around 10 and arrived home where his mother was already at around 1 p.m. The next day, Chris Proudfoot ends up getting up and making some type of excuse and heading off to go collect his camper. Don't know what that was all about, but I have to think that whatever he was doing, he was up to no good because he was gone all day the next day. It just didn't bode well with the situation. Nobody worries about a camper when you got a missing kid and literally the cavalry in your living room as well as your front yard. It just makes absolutely no common sense to leave the home and walk away and out the door and don't come back for literally hours and hours. Amen. It just doesn't make sense. So that's kind of where we are. I just wanted to come in here. I know I've been on live quite a bit. We also had some creators backing out of this case, a lot of social media creators, quite frankly. It sounds like Narcodiver's not quite done with them. It sounds like CJ is. It sounds like other content creators. I did see a live from CJ, and CJ is, it looks like, on the Cumberland River right now doing a live for looking for information related to Riley Strayed. So it does sound like it is true. There's a lot of people that pulled out of Sebastian Rogers, and I'm really heartbroken because we still have a lot of work to do on the case. And the only person affected by all of this is this little boy right here. And I really just don't want to let him down. So I hope everybody continues to support this cause. I'm still stuck here. I feel like a broken record, so I'm not even going to say anything until I know my car's running, you know? Anyways, guys, that's what I've got for this evening. I love you. I hope you have an amazing Saturday evening. It is Saturday, right? I don't even know what day it is. Oh my God, is it Friday or Saturday? I don't know. I don't know if I should say TGIF. Am I going to church tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys. Well, whatever day it is, you have an amazing day, and God bless you.